Okay, so let's get right into it. You see the headlines about AI and jobs everywhere, right? One day it's a paradise where robots do all the work. The next, it's a total doomsday scenario. But what is really going on in the American job market? Well, in this explainer, we're going to cut through all that noise. We're going to use the latest data to see where AI is actually making an impact and where it's just hype.
So picture this. A new US jobs report comes out for February 2026, and everyone's expecting it to show some growth. But instead, we see this number. The economy has actually lost 92,000 jobs. That's a huge reversal that would, immediately get people talking and worrying.
And here's what that jolt would look like. This is the official chart from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. You see the trend, and then bam, a dramatic nosedive way below the zero line in February. Now, this is the kind of thing that makes economists, and frankly, everyone else, sit up and pay very, very close attention.
The reaction would be instant. News outlets would call it exactly what it is, a shocking labor market reversal. That phrase just captures the mood perfectly, doesn't it? It would feel like the floor just dropped out from under the job market. And for a lot of people, one culprit would immediately spring to mind.
It's the big question, isn't it? Every time we see a scary economic headline, we wonder, is this it? Is this the moment AI's takeover of the job market really starts? But to get the real story, we have to look past that initial shock. We have to dig into the details of the report itself.
So let's pull back the curtain on that headline number. What's the real story that got lost in the panic?
And here is the twist. The actual report was super clear. This wasn't about robots taking over. The job loss was mostly because of strike activity, especially in healthcare, which saw a temporary dip of 28,000 jobs. So the key thing here is AI was not the smoking gun for this jobs report. But that doesn't mean it's off the hook. Not at all.
To understand what's really happening, we need to talk about this weird phenomenon that economists are calling the jobless boom. It's a total paradox. You've got companies reporting record-breaking profits, their stocks are going through the roof, but at the same time, they're laying off thousands of people. This totally flips the old script where layoffs only happen when a company is in trouble.
And this chart really shows you the heart of that paradox. On one side, you see corporate profits just climbing higher and higher. But on the other, you see layoffs also accelerating. This isn't a sign of a weak economy, it's a sign of a changing economy. One where profits are no longer tied to how many people you employ. So if that big jobs number wasn't about AI, where are we actually seeing the impact? Right here. In just the first 2 months of 2026, tech companies laid off more than 45,000 people. This is the real frontline of AI-driven job changes.
This whole situation really creates a tale of two workforces. You've got jobs that are extremely exposed to AI automation, and then you have jobs that are surprisingly safe. So let's break down who is most at risk.
Okay, this statistic from Anthropic, one of the top AI labs out there, is just staggering. Think about it. For people who work with computers and math, AI is theoretically capable of handling 94% of what they do. Now, that doesn't mean all those jobs will just vanish overnight, but it does show an incredible level of exposure for the very people who are building and working with this technology. And that risk stretches way beyond just tech. It's right across the white-collar world. I mean, look at these numbers. Paralegals, admin roles, bank tellers, cashiers. These jobs all involve tasks that AI is getting really, really good at. We're talking about projections that could eliminate hundreds of thousands of jobs over the next decade. And this whole shift is hitting the youngest people in the workforce the hardest. The data shows that workers between 18 and 24 are way more worried about being replaced by AI than their older, more established colleagues. They're stepping into a job market that is just fundamentally different than it was even 5 years ago. But listen, it's not all doom and gloom. Not at all. While some doors are definitely closing, other doors are flying wide open. So let's talk about the jobs that are not just surviving, but are actually thriving in this age of AI.
So where are these opportunities? Well, just think about what AI can't do. It can't rewire your house, it can't provide hands-on patient care, and it can't stop a sophisticated cyber attack. The skilled trades are facing massive worker shortages. Healthcare roles that need that human touch, like nurse practitioners, they're projected to boom. And of course, the demand for people who can actually build and manage these AI systems, it's just skyrocketing.
So after all that, what does this actually mean for you? Well, it means we all have to adapt. The world of work is changing, and so our approach to our own careers has to change right along with it. This is probably the single most important takeaway from a recent MIT study. The whole conversation is shifting. It's moving away from AI is going to take my job and more towards AI is going to change my job. The new battleground isn't about protecting old jobs. It's about gaining new skills. And the number one skill right now? It's AI literacy, basically knowing how to use and work with these new AI tools.
And this quote from a VP of operations in that study, it says it all. Companies are now actively looking for people who are good with AI tools, and they're finding that recent grads who kind of grew up with this stuff often have a better feel for it than professionals with years of experience. That is a huge wake-up call.
And you're hearing the same thing from the very top. Microsoft's CEO Satya Nadella calls it a new era of AI. The message to businesses is crystal clear. Use this technology to get more efficient, to do more with less. And that one little phrase has massive implications for every single industry out there.
So we'll end with this question for you to think about. After looking at all the data, it's pretty clear this change is real and it's happening right now. The fear is totally understandable, but the opportunity here is also immense. The real challenge isn't about fighting the technology. It's about learning to work alongside it. So, is it a threat to your career, or is it an invitation to learn, to grow, and to evolve? The answer to that question is going to define the next chapter for all of us.